Through Cheeches, make that left, go up through the thing, and then come back through Dixon. I know that part, but I'm talking about where you go through Cheeches and you make that left. See, my shit's blinking this on. So that's normal. Hey guys, welcome back. Long time no see. As you can see, it's the first ride on the Aprilia. I'm super excited. Great time to be alive and just get out and explore and learn. You know, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Just gassed up and just trying to get out of this little town and go into where things get really cool and scenic. Yeah, cool day. Me and the wife took out both bikes. Both bikes were brand new. First time riding both of them. She got a 2024 Yamaha R7, and yeah, we're going. This is the first time we were able to get out. It was a nice, pretty day. I like to ride in the mornings. Where we live, we're in, in the mountain country and surrounded by mountains. So, there's nature everywhere. And they will come out on you if you're not careful. So, we wait till about 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, and then, hit the roads. But so far, I just want to talk about a few things that I noticed that I really enjoyed while riding this bike so far. One is the brakes. I know I had an issue with the MV and how it wasn't really responding, and I had to keep trying to figure out how to get the rear brake to engage and all these other issues that came up. But set aside from that, the first thing I noticed was how engaging the brakes are, the response, just the overall feel, and it's really confidence inspiring. If I had to put a word so far when riding this bike, it's confidence inspiring. The moment I left my house and we went to go fill up at the gas station, I was a little bit nervous. I'm always like that when I get on a new ride, because you just don't know it. You don't know how it responds. You don't know if you twist the throttle, if it's going to have some different effect or not. But as soon as I took off, I noticed probably a few minutes in, all the jitters, the anxiety, etc. It just went away, and it turned into fun, and you just felt like, wow, I really want to discover what this bike does. Really, really, really good vibes out the gate, and riding through these mountain sections and through these little towns. I definitely got a great feeling from it, and it made me want to ride the bike even more. Can't really compare it to the MV. Obviously, these are night and day, different type bikes, and the experiences are obviously similar but kind of different. What I got with the MV was it's really flickable, and semi torque driven. I remember when I was purchasing that bike, people were like, when you get this bike, it's gonna fly, and it's gonna make you put your Gigs 14 away and all this other stuff. And obviously you've been on big power before, and I mean big power, not no 600. I'm talking about 1,000 plus. That doesn't really it doesn't make sense to a person like me. But that bike was fun to ride. That's what I got from that. What I got from this off the jump, just from twisting the throttle just a little bit, the power's there. And it's probably the second thing I really like about this bike is the power delivery is very, very smooth. It mirrors how I feel when I'm riding the 14. You can go fast, or you can go slow. It's totally up to you. There's no real lag. At least I haven't felt it yet. I have new tires. I'm scrubbing those in and letting the engine working and things like that. But it's very, very, very smooth, and it's very confidence inspiring. You see, I'm taking off in front of the wife because I just want to kind of open it up a little bit and see. And I barely, during this whole ride, I don't even think I got in the fourth gear. I might have done it like once, maybe once or twice, but it performed so well. And we're obviously going up into the mountain pass. I don't know if you can make that out on the way the video is. I'm wearing a chest camera mount. I don't know what you call it, but the plate, and it has the GoPro on it, so it kind of picks up a cool cockpit type of angle, and you get to see the whole thing. But yeah, man, just an awesome bike to ride. I think for the most part, what I did notice is that when you are going in slower speeds, it definitely handles really well, and is really responsive first to second. Once you go into third, it's like, hey, give me more, or don't put me in that gear at all. So that was just a little bit of information that I noticed of how the bike responds, which is a-okay with me. I've said in past videos, and this part right here, so there was vultures, and as you can see, I had to duck underneath one. I thought he was going to go up. He actually went lower, and he was carrying something. I was like, don't drop that on my head. So that was a little awake, head on a swivel moment for me. But I made it and survived. But yeah, the way the bike responds to lower gears is a great feeling. Third, some people are telling me this bike is really heavy. I didn't really feel that. In my opinion, I thought that the bike responded really well. I would say it's not that heavy. I have a ZX14, so when people say bikes are heavy, sport bikes I'm talking about, I'm like, it's not that heavy. It's 1,000, and the way they make thousands now, they're small, considerably from when I used to own like a 2005 ZX10R, which was actually pretty light for itself, so I can't really use that bike. But other bikes that were thousands, they were built big, and now thousands look like 600s almost. So I'm like, I guess if you don't get in the gym and get some muscles on you can feel that way. But thousands today are actually pretty light. So as far as the weight goes, I thought it's on point. I think you need a certain amount of weight for stability, especially at high speeds. I think that's an underrated thing that a lot of people don't really take into account, and that's why they get speed wobbles and all this other stuff. And you need a certain amount of weight when you're pushing it, or you're doing something a little bit more extreme than the norm. But as far as the weight goes, I thought it was awesome. The quick shifter, from what I've heard, a lot of people complain and say that it's not really that great. So far, I didn't have an issue with it at all. So again, I didn't bang all the way through the whole rev range or in all gears, so I can't say what it felt like in totality. But 1 through 4, it was smooth to me. And first to second is always going to be clunky or whatever on any bike. That's like almost like getting out of neutral in the first. So that didn't bother me at all. I love riding through this loop. Me and my wife usually take a lot. There's so many like pretty little towns, mountain towns and it whips through all these different turns and changes in elevation. We go up 8,000 feet and come back down into the valley floor, and it'll be like around 6,000, and then you go up again, and it winds, wide sweeps. You see all these beautiful landscapes. It's really pretty. Another thing I really like, which is underrated, I guess, I've always been told that Aprilias are very cramped in the seat, and the feeling is that you have to be really small to ride these bikes. I'm roughly 6 feet tall, and I'm about 225 and trying to drop another 20 pounds so I can get back into my tracksuit. But no, I so far the riding position is spot on. I've heard people say that their wrists hurt riding this bike, and in my opinion, it's really, really comfortable. You're not supposed to be like leaning on your wrist as you ride anyways. You're supposed to be kind of like light on the handlebars, and you use your core for a lot of stuff. At least that's the way I've been taught. And I don't. One thing I don't understand is people that hop on sports bikes and they don't want them to be just that. Especially when you start going to track bikes and things like that. The key word is sport. So if you're not an athletic person, maybe it's the wrong type of bike that you're purchasing in the first place. These are like little quirks that a lot of people complain about. That it's pretty comical at this point, because the whole purpose of a bike like this is that it's track oriented. It's meant to go fast, it's meant to handle, it's meant to be agile. Therefore, there's a certain positioning that must be set for it to perform these duties. So I don't see where that gets lost in the sauce for some people. Me personally, I think that the positioning and the handling is awesome. So the styling, without saying, it is one of the most beautiful bikes I've ever seen before, hands down. So much so, just like the MV, I really don't plan on doing too much to it. Just a few aesthetics here and there, just to kind of make it my own and separate myself away from the rest. I'm not really a fan of just like buying vehicles or whatever out of the showroom and just leave it as such. A lot of people do that, and they all look the same. You can't tell each other from the parking lot or anything else. So I'm a creative person. I said this before, and I enjoy making things, my own and how I express myself. So there'll be some things that I do to it, but it's such a beautiful bike from the front to the back. There's really not much for me to do. And also the performance as well. Like there's not too much I'm gonna do. Obviously, it's about to get a lot louder. And speaking of that, we already have our exhaust on the way. My wife will be getting an SC Project CRT system for her bike, and I'll be getting an SC Project exhaust for mine. And yeah, we'll probably have two of the loudest bikes in the valley, but I think that's a part of riding, especially when you're on bikes like these. I understand if you're getting an adventure bike or something like that, and you want it to be low monotone and kind of docile, but it's just one of those things where if you get a hot rod, why would you want it to be quiet? And I don't mean like in an obnoxious way. I mean like a nice deep roar is what I always love, where you hear that you can feel the engine vibrating, and the bike operating the way it was intended to be before emissions controls told them that they need to tone it down. I think that's an awesome thing. I always have. I went to many racing events on the world stage, MotoGP, World Superbike, stuff like that, and the way those things sound is wicked. And when you stand down there and you're next to the track as close as you can get, it's an amazing sound that goes by. Sure, it's retardedly loud. Yes, it is, but it's such a unique sound that, you know, it's incredible. It's hard to explain. And while I'm explaining this stuff, a huge shout out to Imperial Sport Bikes in Denver, Colorado. These guys are amazing. They are a really no bullshit type dealership. They genuinely took my interest in this bike, which was all it was initially, and they kind of pushed me into pursuing this dream of mine. Originally, before I got the MV, this was the bike I wanted to get originally. I've been riding sport bikes all my life, so I've been riding traditional sport bikes, but I've never ridden a naked bike or anything like that. So I kind of wanted to switch it up, and that's why I went to the Brutality. But initially, this was the bike that I wanted to get, But these guys, I sent them pictures and I told them, it wasn't really working out, and that was in a day and a half time. I'm ending up going to Denver, and we're making this thing happen where I can get this bike. They also have helped us with getting parts. Just explaining what me and my wife are trying to do. She has a Yamaha, and they were willing to help try and assist getting her pipe for her bike, and whatever else she needed. And that doesn't even have anything to do with Aprilia. So these guys are really truly amazing people, and they definitely they'll take your business, and they'll try and make sure that you're happy with whatever you're trying to get. Especially if you're trying to go the Aprilia way. One of the other things I wanted to touch on was many people keep telling me that it's very possible that you're going to have a lot of issues just like you did with the MV. The one thing I'll say to that is I didn't have any dealer support really for MV, and the attitude that was surrounding that was kind of nonchalant, or I just don't care that you're experiencing these problems. I would rarely get emails, and if I did, they'd be months away from when I initially tried to respond to them for some help. So the good thing is there's the dealership in Denver that I can go to, and there's also one that's in Albuquerque, which is like an hour and a half drive away from me. So the dealership support is there. Like I said, going to this dealership, Imperial Sport Bikes, I would feel totally confident if I had to drive 5 hours. I will, and I'll know that these guys know what they're doing, and they'll try and take care of me to the best of their ability. That goes without saying. That was one of the MV, one of the worst experiences I've ever had, as far as company trying to make your experience as great as possible, especially when you're buying from them and you did it outright. So yeah, I'm totally happy with that, and I'm not worried about that. Bikes have quirks and issues will arise. That's fine. You just want to be able to fix them when you can, and if you ask somebody for help, you want them to be able to give you some type of remedy so you can fix things. That's all you're looking for, really. So I'm not worried about that. Like I said, I still ride my 14, so I split time between both bikes. This is an exciting adventure that I'm taking. As far as it, having some variety between rides, which is awesome. So, and that's all I was really looking for in general in getting the second bike. The 14 is not going anywhere. That bike is sold. Sold in my heart and ain't going nowhere. unless it just falls off a cliff or something, and I'm not able to get it back to life. Yeah, that's a staple in my stable, basically. But I believe this bike will be the same way. So far, I am so stoked, just amazed and astonished that I have that in my my trailer. It's insane. So I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting out to more rides. So far, we're experiencing really bad storms, so this was obviously the only ride that I could get out into and try and enjoy and learn on the bike. So I definitely want to get out more and keep learning on the bike and seeing what it does. But so far I'm really impressed. I don't have any bad things to say about it, and that's with no bias. I haven't really felt anything. If anything, I'll reiterate, it just felt really smooth, and it just delivers. I wasn't pushing on it, obviously, but if you're just cruising around and doing all that, it'll do that more. You really can't ask for more than that, especially in this type of environment. Like I said, if you're really paying attention close to the video, you can see all these beautiful landscapes and views. Like just blowing through everything is kind of insane out here. So, I doubt I'll be doing track record speeds and whatnot through here. But yeah, it should definitely be fun. Which brings me to my other point real quick. I watched the video when I was trying to learn about the bike, because I always research just to make sure I'm making the right decision or give me something that will lean me either way. And there was a guy that bought one of these, and he was complaining that the bike has too much power, which is insane. Why would you buy a bike like this and think that it wasn't supposed to have that? He said it's too much power for the street, and that was his number one complaint. I was like, well, go get a 400 then. Oh man, it's just, some of these people are really, really, you really need to think why you're getting the motorcycle and what type of motorcycle you're getting for you if you're going to do that. That's what I would say, because a lot of these people are looking really foolish, the way they come at, what a bike is supposed to do and things like that. You're supposed to fit it to your lifestyle and how you would want to ride, your experience, all those things, and be truthful about what you're looking for. But I appreciate you guys for coming along. I was talking your ear off about this bike. I'm still learning it. I'm going to be making changes, obviously, and I'll keep you guys in the loop. I appreciate you guys, and if you can, like, subscribe, share, all those good things, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.